Okay, so for lesson 2, we have the one-step equation. Before we go on, we need to understand these. These are when we multiply negative and positive numbers. So if it's a negative times a negative, our answer will be positive. Positive times a positive, positive. Negative times a positive will give us a negative answer. Positive times a negative will equal to a negative. The way we can remember this is basically if the signs are the same, you see how right here both of them are the same, it's going to be a positive. If the signs are different right here, they're opposite, so it's going to be a negative. Same rule applies for division. So when we divide negative and positive numbers, so a negative divided by a negative will give us a positive. A positive divided by a positive is a positive. Negative divided by a positive will be a negative. And a positive divided by a negative is a negative. So let's start with number 1. The way we solve one-step equations is we basically have to isolate the letter by itself on one side. So the letter has to be by itself. In this case, we're going to draw a line across the equal sign. We have to identify what side is our letter. Is it on the right or is it on the left? In this case, it's a right. So let me put R right here. Like that is a little note for ourselves to know that's on the right side. We want to keep it there. That means we have to get rid of the 8. The way we move the 8 over to the other side is by doing the opposite. Right now, the 8 is a positive number. Opposite of positive will be a negative. So we're going to subtract. Negative and subtract means the same thing. Whatever you do on one side, you have to do it to the other side because both of them are equal to each other. It's like a balance. We have to keep them balanced. So 8 minus 8 cancels out. Bring down the v. V is equal to, what is 26 minus 8? So 26 minus 8 will be 18. This will be our answer right here. So v will equal to 18. For number 2. Number 2 is a little bit different than number 1 because in number 1, the letter we had it on the right side. Number 2, the letter now, it's going to be on the left-hand side. We're going to treat it the same way though. We need to leave n by itself right here. That means we have to get rid of the negative 15. Right now it's a negative. Moving it to the other side, we have to do the opposite, which is going to be positive 15. Remember that whatever we do on this side, we have to do it to the other side. Negative 15, positive 15, cancel each other out. Bring down the n. N is equal to what? Well, n is going to equal to negative 9 plus 15. Again, think about it as money. We owe $9. We have 15. So we pay. At the end of the day, do we have or do we owe? We're going to have. How much are we going to have? We're going to have $6. So n is equal to 6. Right here, we don't necessarily have to put the positive because if it doesn't have a sign, it's automatically a positive number. So for number 4, our answer will be n is equal to 6. Number 11. Now number 11, we have negative 104 is equal to 8x. 8x, whenever we have a number like this next to a letter, it means multiplication. Right here. That means that we're multiplying 8 times x. Opposite of multiplication will be division. So, again, we're going to draw our line. Our letter is on the right side. So we need to leave the letter by itself right here. That means we have to get rid of the 8. Right now, again, we said it was multiplication. Opposite of multiplication will be division. So we're going to divide by 8. Remember we said that a fraction means division. These are going to cancel. So we get x. X will be what? X is equal to, what's a negative divided by a positive? Well, let's go back right here. A negative divided by a positive will be a negative. So our answer, we already know it's going to be negative. 104 divided by 8. 104 divided by 8 will give us 13. So it's going to be negative 13. This will be our answer. One way to put it into the calculator, this right here, we're going to say 104. And then we're going to make it a negative. So in the calculator, there is a button. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a button right here next to the equal sign. It looks something like this. So we're gonna put 104, press that button. That button is making that 104 negative. Divided by 8 equals, it should give us our answer as negative 13. 424. We have been saying that fraction means division. So fraction means division. Opposite of division will be multiplication. So we're going to draw our line, our letters on the right side. We want to leave it in the right side. That means we have to get rid of the 18. The 18 is in the bottom. That means it's going to be division right here. Opposite of division will be multiplication. So we're going to multiply both sides by 18 to get rid of it. 18 divided by 18 will be the same thing as 1. 1 times a will still be a. So we don't even have to put the 1. The 1 is an invisible 1. So a will equal to, we have right here, 18 times negative 5. The way we're going to plug this into the calculator, we're going to start with the 18. 18 times 5. To make it a negative, we have to press the button that looks something like this. It's next to the equal sign. Equals, that should give us our answer. In this case, it will be 18 times 5 negative. It should be negative 90. So A will equal to negative 90.